Potter's Journal. Yeah, it's officially over. My winter studio session. I did stay up late last Sunday of April because I wanted to get these glazed. I knew if I didn't get them glazed, I never would. And pouring them was interesting. As you pour a pitcher, it usually comes out the spout a little faster. Well, as I poured the glaze out of here, it came gushing out of each one of these. Make a nice fountain, maybe. But to review the season part 3, I guess 1 and 2 we did see through the season, but part 3 I did not put in the journal. Maybe because I was not getting what I wanted and feeling a degree of success. These bubbled out pots, you know, really demanded, and I don't have any good wood fire pieces yet, but they really needed the wood to do something for them. It just didn't work with the glazes. But I did keep trying. They get bubbled out, and I kind of cut through the surface of it a bit on these, and I tried a few different glazes. But, now the question is, what do I do? What do you do with the pieces that were meant to be the art pieces and are not? So actually, I was looking for some bigger pieces, something a little more impressive for the farmers market, so these will have to maybe go there and be quite a hit. In fact, I did have one of these that bubbled out, and Henry with the Lebanese food was telling me how the form in Lebanon was a bit different, and how they held it by the neck and to pour right in their mouth. The show I was trying to get in with the ones out there was an altered show, and although I didn't get any pieces made, this was fun to return to. The funny handled mugs. I had done a series of these years ago. They were salt glazed, and as mugs, this worked out. I'm anxious to see how they, if I take these to sale, people think, because each handle's a little bit different, and people like to pick them up the same as they do a tea bowl, to figure out which one, fits their hand. And this was, I didn't know if I could do this again, make a pot that was not centered. But I do want to go in search of some old wood fire pieces. And, here was another piece I entered in the altered show. This was a series of plates that I presented as a installation, wall hanging, with each one being a little bit different, thrown very quickly. This was an old piece, but, the first time presented as an installation here. But somebody, doesn't like working in the studio. Ralph, do you want to go for a walk? Do you want to go? You do? Okay, let's go in search of some old pots. Let's see if there are any wood fire pieces hidden around here somewhere. I seem to remember, there being something back behind this old truck. I see a salt glaze piece. Not that they're any good. If they were abandoned here, they weren't good pieces, but just to see an old salt piece. I'm just going to gather these up now, and maybe we'll do a review some other time. Oh, here's a couple. Oh, wow, wood pieces. They can't be any good if they're here. Actually, it doesn't look like it's filled with dirt. They were upside down. It doesn't look like it's broken. There's another one. And this looks like, it was glazed on its side with the ash strip down it. Okay, we're going to clean these up and maybe take a review of them. Not that I'm in a hurry to turn back to this. I think usually this is what you would move up to, but I found this one earlier. It's got okay, this arch McDonald's coffee cup lid impressed into the side of it. This is not the good piece, but the good one was titled Arches over Tomba, and it did actually get in the hands of a Pitt professor. I think he did Japanese studies. Actually, yeah, he had a son that's a potter too, ceramic artist Singleton. Okay, here's something that was just put in the garden. Now this I know was put here broken. I see the bottoms off of it, but oh wow. But you know what? If I do want to make some pots, this is where I was. Let's see. 1992. Wow. This is from the last series of wood fire pots I did in 92. These were fired in a, wow, look at all that on there. I hope all the pieces are here. Okay, yeah, it had, I guess, it was glazed. It ran and stuck, so this couldn't be fixed, and I guess it just made it out here as garden pottery. This was fired, in Indiana, PA. Betty Hedman Gallery. They had a Bory box kiln, and that was fired with me and Dale Hoffman, 92, yeah, and his wife Betsy. Okay, this is of interest. This is my old kiln shed. It used to be backed up against the studio, and there was an electric kiln housed in it. It was fashioned after visiting Jugstown Potteries in Seagrove, North Carolina. I think I said PA when I mentioned them the last time. That they, I seem to remember in the early 80s when Nsika was in Atlanta visiting the potteries, and they were, you know, old sheds, and the glaze storage was an old freezer. So that's what this was fashioned after. This is where the large oval kiln was, and there's still another one back here that's out of commission. But and you know what? We need to get in here and probably gather old glaze or clay supplies. But, okay, so this used to be my kiln shed. It's a lot of natural light coming in the windows up front, and yeah, the two kilns were housed in here. The wear boards were put up along the wall, but we're looking for old wood fire pieces. Not that I'm in a hurry to return to it. Box of lids. But, okay, yeah, here we go. Oh, wow. What? I better grab the bottom of this box, because I think this may be one of my better gallery pieces from days of old that somehow remained in my collection because it had a crack. Oh wow. I used to do a lot of these crocks in various widths and sizes and heights. And And this one. Okay, yeah, I can tell by the sound that it's broken somewhere. Okay, so it bubbled out like the ones we just looked at on the table, but this time fired in a wood kiln. And I'm not in a hurry to get back to firing with wood. I think this cone 6 oxidation can be a challenge for yeah, a couple of years, maybe 3. So this can be put off into the horizon to return to. But yeah, that one I dug out of the front yard that was broken, and this one, I'm not quite sure. It might take me a while to get back to that skill level of throwing. Okay, well now while the studio's shut down for 3 months, I'll just start making my plans for when I can get back in, stop back, and see what else we can discover.